Straight ahead?
Yep.
Okay, got it.
And we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and I am so glad my friend Guy Torry and funny chair occupant for a while on the Joiner Show is with us today. Hey, Guy Torry.
What's happening? How you doing? I'm
I'm
good.
good. What's happening with you?
What's not happening with me? This is such a great time right now. We're gonna get into other stuff later with the June 6th riots, but it's such a good time
Mm.
for me right now. Curating Essence Fest comedy this weekend. My documentary Fat Tuesdays is up for Emmy Award consideration, so it's a good time right now.
Okay, we'll talk about that because it is a good time. It's good to be the
Yeah,
Guy Torry, isn't it?
man, it is me. I'm tripolar, so it's me, myself, and God. So it's good to be all three
Right,
of me right
right.
now.
Which I think should be the I guess the title of your life story should be that.
Yeah. Oh, my special. Me, myself, and God. The good,
There
the
you
bad,
go.
the ugly. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So you are
I'm
on the
with it.
road, and you're not at home. You're not in Los Angeles, and you're not performing, but
No.
you're working.
Yeah. This is. If you look at my background, it looks like I'm in snowfall. It looks like a 90s basement, but I'm in Idlewild, Michigan, on a business work retreat. I came here to just refuel, write new jokes, work on me, and write. Not a vacation, but a straight
Hmm.
up workcation right now. But I've been consumed with the Essence Fest curating the comedy this weekend. It took a lot of the time that I wanted to do for writing new jokes, but it was well worth it. So yeah, I'm working.
You're working, and so are you working on like on a special or something, or just overall just crafting?
Special.
Okay,
Yeah, you know what?
refreshing.
Rebranding. I don't
Okay,
want to say
rebranding.
I don't want to say reinvent myself because I can't do better than God. So I'm
Exactly.
just gonna say reinventing the brand.
All right.
Reinventing the brand. So that's what it is. Yes. And this used to be a brothel. The place that I'm in used to be a brothel. So
Are you kidding? So tell
yeah,
people a little bit about the
no,
history of Idlewild.
Idlewild, Michigan was a number one destination spot for black people in like the early 1900s and a little beyond. I mean, I think the story is two white people put this area here so black people can come and vacation and have fun without, other white people ruining their fun. And it's historical. Outkast did a movie about it,
Right, right.
and it's just a cool place. And a lot of the properties right here on the lake are owned by black people,
Hmm.
and it's just a great history here, and it's peaceful. It's nothing to do here. That's why I came here. There's no cigar lounges. There's no clubs. There's like one bar and grill and a restaurant. But that's what I wanted. I'm in the sticks, and to be in a brothel, I'm in a I'm in one
Silly.
of them houses they call it that Richard Pryor grew up in or whatever.
Uh,
Eddie
does
Griffin.
that bring about some inspiration to you?
Well, I did sage the place too, though. I put some sage on it because at I think the place is haunted because at night I heard some moans. There's probably some old the women who worked here. Oh, oh. So I had to sage the place. It was some sounds, but you know what? So I'm being attacked by caterpillars. Like every
Oh,
3
right.
years, this place have an infestation of caterpillars, man, and it's like, and you walk outside and they just fall on you from the sky, and you
Hmm.
got to walk in because you don't want them coming in the house, so you got to do the Harlem Shake when you walk in to make sure you get all them caterpillars off for you, and they're nasty. They're
But
some
they're on
nasty
their
little hairy things.
but they are on their way to becoming more beautiful objects, aren't they? It's a metamorphosis of sorts,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, like me after drinking, after a woman sees me after she's been drunk, I'm on my way to becoming better looking.
You are so silly. We were talking about you earlier, just talking about how you still look as young as you did in your years ago photo. So you're doing okay, young man. You're doing okay.
Hey, a
All right.
little studio fix, press powder 55,
You're silly.
and good lighting.
Let's move to and talk about our newsletter, the What You Need to Know newsletter. This is absolutely free.
Man,
We ask you to subscribe to it. Give us send us an email at sybylwilkes.com. Give us your email address and your name, and we'll have it in your email box every Monday through Friday morning. And Guy, as you know, we endeavor to continue what we learned at the feet of Tom Joyner and by his side. That would be to super serve the African American community. And so
Absolutely.
we have a number of items. Not only are news articles pertaining to how they affect the African American community and our folks, we also have the Little Known Black History Fact. We have our HBCU Corner, and all of these things that we try to bring to people with some new information you might not get elsewhere. And so we thank you and give it from our perspective as well. So we thank you for being a part of this. And for those of you who would like to join the What You Need to Know news crew, as I said, just go to sybylwilkes.com, give us your name, your email address, and that's all. We will have it in your email box, and it is free. So, Guy, let's talk about the president this week. Okay, well, first of all, let's talk about Joe Biden. What do you think about? Because it seems like every time we turn on the news, they're giving us a polling number in which his numbers are dropping lower and lower and lower. I don't know how much lower they can go, Guy, but he's trying. I mean, in the newsletter, we talk about the fact that he has called for the federal gas tax vacated for 3 months, to be put off to the side for 3 months to help people in their efforts to bring down the price of gasoline. And
go ahead, sorry.
No, you go.
No, it's funny because I wish my cholesterol numbers were dropping like his poll numbers. My doctor would be very, very, very happy if that was the case. And the Biden is like, man, these gas prices, and all my friends who are Trump supporters, and yes, I do have Trump supporter friends, unfortunately. And Republicans are looking like, well, look at these gas prices. Look at these gas prices. That's all they have right now. Look at these gas prices and the economy. But I'm so glad what's going on with the trial right now that I have my like, hey, whatever. But I don't know, Trump. I don't know if Biden. I got a little disturbing news today about Biden that he didn't want to talk to the family of Brittany Griner either. That was kind of disturbed me. Like, come on, Biden, are you serious? So my vote for Biden. I'm not having buyer's remorse because the alternative was horrible. I'm just saying I'm not getting, I was buying a name brand sweater, but I ended up getting something from Ross for less. My department store one is I'm a little bit not happy right now.
But as you say, the alternative, and what is it? One of the most disturbing things for me, and one of the most interesting and disturbing things for me, Guy, I've been watching the hearings every day that they are presented, and there is the Republican Speaker of the House from Arizona, a real, stickler for details, doesn't want to lie, is holding Donald Trump to his feet to the fire during all of this, calling for new electors and all of this in the states like Arizona. And he said, for all that he disagrees with Donald Trump about, he said he would still vote for him in a race against Joe Biden.
And that's crazy because, again, they put party over country.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, because after all the stuff he's already done and what you're hearing, how this whole Storm the Capitol event went, you still, what does he have on you guys? Like, and women, because there's women who support them too. What does he have on you? It's like, what is this trance that Trump has his supporters and followers in? Because even my circle of friends who were Trump supporters and still Trump supporters, they're holding on tight.
Yep.
Like he got something on all y'all. I don't get it.
Right.
It's definitely a cult. It has to be a cult.
It is a cult. Like it is. It's very much.
But they stick together. I mean, I wrote this bit that I never really did, saying that I want all Republican friends, like, to get all my Democrat friends, and because they're gonna stick by you to the end. They are going to stick by you to the end, no matter. They can see you shoot somebody in the face, and they're still gonna say, nope, he didn't do it. He didn't do it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I looking at this and how he was, persuading people who give their oath make an oath to the country to tell the truth, nothing but the truth,
Man.
and especially attorneys in the Justice Department. He was trying to flip the Justice Department officials to be his own private attorneys. And
Yo.
and it's like, well, I don't need you to. Okay, so you don't want to say that there was some corruption, there's some election fraud. Just say that there were some questions about it, and we'll let our people go from there.
Yeah, he wanted them to overturn it at first, and they're like,
Mhm.
"Nah, we ain't doing that. We can't do
Right?
that." Okay, if you're not gonna overturn it, then just say that there's some fraud somewhere.
Yeah.
And there wasn't. There wasn't anything that was even an inkling of fraud. And he
Hmm.
was trying to get them to lie and reappoint people. It's like, but like you said, they still sticking to this dude.
It's sticking like glue,
Wow.
and it's a different Republican Party too, Guy. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
whatever this party of Trump is not. There are a lot of Republicans who are scratching their heads, but it still bears just more investigation, I think. And we were talking about the in the newsletter in the story. What are you paying for gas in Los Angeles?
Man, it's close to like some places, depends on the area, but it's close to $8, $7, $8
Oh,
in some places. You go to Beverly Hills, it's like, yo, they gonna tax you. You almost gotta drive to the hood and risk your life to get gas under, $5, to
that
be
is so
honest.
crazy. And didn't it used to
Yeah,
be that you would go out to the more established areas to pay for cheaper amounts of gas, and now
right.
it's
No, not
flipped.
now.
Yeah.
But the good thing about it is the silver lining is that drive-bys are down now because in Los Angeles, drive-bys are down. They're Ubering to get out and take someone out and then to go back. But again with the gas prices though, it's the tickets. The airline tickets have
Yeah.
skyrocketed.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
that's why Biden need to do something. Okay, I don't drive that much anyway, right? But where it's hitting me is
Yep.
in
And
flying. These
travel.
tickets, I used to get tickets from on a certain airline from LA to Miami for $59 or $99 and get upgraded to first class, right? Because I don't
Hmm.
ever buy a first class ticket. I bought that same ticket a couple of weeks ago. It was $1,300 one way in coach in a middle seat.
Oh my
In a
God,
middle
God,
seat. There's a guy,
God.
I'm telling you, and I was caught between two bad breath people too. So they were talking to each other and they wouldn't, none of them wanted the middle seat, but I was taking the hit. But
You
I'm
took it.
telling you, it's like it's affecting everything. And
Yeah.
on top of the high prices, for some reason these airlines are delaying the flights,
Hmm.
canceling flights.
They
So
don't have people. They don't have
we are past
personnel.
that. I guess they don't. In some cases they don't. But it's nuts. You're charging us more money, but then you're
Hmm.
also inconveniencing us at the same time. It's so that's why everybody's angry. And Biden got to do something. And
Yeah.
he driving a bike, so he ain't worried about gas prices. He can't even stay on that thing.
Oh well, there's that. But he's also taking on the oil company executives and saying, you got to do something as you are just
Right,
recording these historic profits. You
right,
also could play a part in bringing down these prices.
right.
And they're saying, "Oh, that's not fair. You're picking on us." I'm like, "Really? What are you doing to us? What are you doing to the people
They're
with
picking
these?"
on us.
Yeah.
It's again the big corporations crying, because their people aren't in office actually, because that's who really runs this country is corporate America, and
Yep.
and their guy is out.
Yep.
The last two guys are out because the Bush family was big in that whole oil stuff too. That's what killed the electric car several years ago.
And
So
now
gas
that,
prices,
yeah.
it's big money, big
It
money, big money
it
in it.
is it's big money, and as you mentioned, not only in our cars but in our airlines,
Yeah.
and so our travel is pretty much screwed up for this summer season in terms of having any kind of relief. God, what do you think about the framework deal that made it into legislation regarding gun reform in the United States Senate? They were real close to this, and for the first time in almost 30 years, something has been done by the government, by the Congress, the House, as well as the Senate, regarding change in gun reform.
Well, it's sad that it takes lives being lost and young lives being lost for you to at least address it. They've been pushing it down the road for years, kicking the can down the road for years, and now it's like, okay, let's talk about it, or at least appearing to do something about it. It's sad. I mean, I'm not a gun guy. I'm not gonna lie. My brother is Rambo. Joe is Rambo. Joe got every gun known to man. But me, I'm just like, no. But I believe in the Second Amendment. I don't believe in assault rifles. I'm just sorry for those of you probably gonna be mad at me. I don't believe that a normal citizen should have an assault rifle. You can have all the guns you want. I can care less. But I just think that, and they really need to do something about these gun shows. That's an issue. No background checks. And what's wrong with a background check for a few days? I mean, why are you in such a rush to buy a damn gun?
Yeah, where are you headed with that new gun? Yeah.
And a lot of my friends who I smoke cigars with are gun crazy. They gung ho. They I'm telling you, they get a new one. You would thought, you know, they have a climax after. And so I'm glad that our government is finally trying to do something. Anything else, it's a small step, you know, in the bigger picture, but something definitely needs to be done.
Let me ask you this, because I haven't had conversations with people who own assault rifles, but how do you justify the necessity for this? And even people who are saying, well, for hunting, you have to decimate, as we've seen the effects of these weapons on humans. You have to decimate the animal in order to capture it.
Well, most of them are saying that, you know, they think this country is going to, you know, go back to the ways where it's a socialist country or communist country, and they want a right to bear arms, but you don't need all those arms.
Yeah,
I think it's almost like an addiction. You know, it's almost like a. I'm OCD about certain things, but there's certain people just OCD and just about guns. I mean, they really, really need. How many guns do you need?
Right.
And I don't understand it. That their rationale is like, well, I got to defend my home. You live in a condo. You live in a condo with security, with a concierge service, where you need a key fob to get up on your floor, but you got 90 guns coming to your little door, and your condo is 1,000 square foot. And you're up on the 12th floor.
Yeah.
What do you need all these guns for?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's your home. I don't get it. And those of you who are gun lovers watching this, hey, I would like to know, what's your obsession with these guns? If you're trying to defend your family, do you need all those guns?
I get what you're saying. I'm right with you. Defending your family, defending your home is one thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the type of weaponry is just beyond my understanding, and I would love to have the discussion. But you know, they're worried about having all their guns, and that's not the issue. You don't want to take all your guns away. If you
There's
want
no army coming to
No.
your condo.
Right.
You know, I don't get it.
I don't either. But that
And these are guys who are big. I mean, size doesn't matter, I guess. But these are guys who are not like little wimpy small guys like me. These are big guys who look like Shrek. You know, and you got all these guns.
Right.
Like, yo, that's something else.
Yeah. It's a whole different. It's a whole.
And they're
different
not black.
animal. Right. And then there's that. But they say, here's the interesting thing: the number of Black ownership of guns has gone up exponentially.
That's why they want to do something.
Yeah. And that's why changes are being made. The NRA and other organizations are scared that Black folks are going to be owning more and more of the weapons. And so now they want to take it away.
Yeah. I love Chris Rock's joke from years ago about they should charge by the bullet, like $500 per bullet.
Yeah. Tom used to say that too, Guy. He used to say, if you want to do something about gun control, we can't stop the weapons, but we can do something about the bullets and or the magazines.
You got to hear these guys talk about that, because they talk about the bullets. It's such a love affair. Like, oh my God, this one goes in and it just grabs us. It grabs the meat and it grinds it, and then, oh my God, it goes at the velocity of. I mean, they get excited about it.
Yeah.
Like me in the Lakers championship year.
Or your Rams.
I'm still celebrating that.
Okay.
But yeah, they're so passionate about the guns and the bullets and what it does. It's nuts. It's a love affair.
Yeah. It really is. It's crazy. Yeah, a couple of other things I want to bring to your attention in the newsletter. Checking in and checking up for your health is what we do on a regular basis. The Supreme Court has rejected Bayer's bid to stop the Roundup lawsuits. Roundup is the fertilizer, the weed killer
Yep.
that has been linked to a number of different cancers by people
Yep.
who are either professionals or private homeowners that have developed these cancers and linking them to the Roundup product. And so the Supreme Court is rejecting their bid to stop these layoffs. I'm sorry, to stop these lawsuits. That's another story we'd like you to take a look at in the newsletter. All right, Guy Torry, you
Yes.
are here with us today and talking about all the incredible things that are going on in your life. It's now time for our question of the day, and it involves you. Our question of the day: what's going on with our friend Guy Torry? Of course, Guy, we know you as the creator of the comedic phenom known as Fat Tuesdays, and you are the man who brought Fat Tuesdays to Amazon Prime Video. You are also the comedic genius behind the comedy shows in the upcoming Essence Festival. Is that correct?
Yes, I am curating Essence Festival this year. I've never been to Essence Festival, so to be a part of it in this capacity is phenomenal. Shout out to Carmen Jones of Essence, who recognized that Fat Tuesdays would be, a good thing. The partnership with Essence, and it's their After Dark series. They have
Got it.
these shows, the music and comedy that start after the big concerts are over,
Mm-hmm.
and they're leading into comedy this year, and we have three great shows planned. I'm hosting all three of them. But we
Nice.
have the first show, July 1st, Miss Pretty Ricky. We have Ryan
Oh,
Davis. We have from 85 South, my man Carlos Miller. That's Friday night. On Saturday night, we have Vanessa Mitchell. We have Coco Brown. And we
oh,
have Earthquake, who's closing out that night. I'm hosting that show as well. And then on Sunday, we have Chris Spencer, Zaynab Johnson, and we have the incredible Afion Crockett, and I'm hosting that show as well. And as Fat Tuesdays did, we always want to salute women.
mm-hmm.
Essence is all about saluting women, so I wanted to have a woman at least one on each show. Some of them we have two because Sprite is a sponsor that come in and they've added a comedian, a surprise guest to each show. So
Mm,
that's a great reason to come. But what I also did was when I was there in New Orleans a couple of months ago on a site visit, I went to a local comedy club to see how can we get back to the local comedians that are
nice.
in New Orleans, because a lot of big comedy shows come through there and then they don't look at the local talent. So I found three very funny young ladies to
Mm-hmm.
add to each show. So one will open up each of the shows, and
Nice.
Nola will, and they're getting paid, and
Nice.
so Nola will get some local flavor in the comedy shows. This would be great. But I'm also part of the men's experience. The men's experiences happens at the convention center where we have these panel discussions, and
Mm-hmm.
Method Man, myself, Earthquake, Zaynab going to be also curating. Moderating one, and Coco Brown. But we have these celebrities coming in and talking about the state of comedy,
Mm-hmm.
men's health. They got exhibits for the guys. Big Tigger's there with his shoe collection. We
Nice.
got a simulated golf, event. So the guys, when they come to Essence Fest, the ladies going to be there, but we got something for the fellas too. But my treat is the comedy. You got to come
Yeah.
laugh. These shows are at the Joy Theater. You can go to essencefest.com and get your tickets. And every show is going to be hot, so make sure you get your tickets. It's going to be fun. Sponsored by MasterCard, Sprite, Coca-Cola. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. I
God,
can't
that
wait.
is
I haven't
so
been on stage in a while,
awesome.
so I really can't wait.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. And now that you've been holding up in a house,
In a brothel.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'll need
Yeah.
to you'll need to change your environment a little bit. So
I want
so
to call it
Guy,
something else, but this is your
right,
show, and
right.
I'm calling
And
it.
then
I
that's what
really
I
want to
was
call it.
thinking too. So I was trying to come up with
Yeah.
the other word.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I'll say it on stage.
okay, okay. So Guy is telling us all that's going on, and we want to know from you. First of all, are you looking to come to Essence Fest? Are you going to join Guy and all of the great comedic and music talent there? But
Yes.
also, we want folks to
Janet.
chime in with their suggestions. What comedians would you like Guy to put in Fat Tuesday season 2?
Mm. Yes.
Or what comedians would you like for him to have in his next comedy special, or would you like to see paired in an upcoming comedy tour? This could be with Guy and other people. I love. Can I just tell you? For everybody who's watching and listening, So we want to know your comedic suggestions. Who would you like to see
Yeah.
featured in Fat Tuesday season 2? Who would you like to see in Guy's next comedy special? Who would you like to see on stage and at Essence this season, just in the next couple of
Great
days?
lineup.
And who would you like to see paired in an upcoming tour? Sometimes you see one person say, "Oh wow, I didn't think about that," but
Right.
bringing some comedic talents together. One of the things I must commend you and Damon Williams are two of the leading comedians who really promote women in your acts in terms of bringing a women comedians along with you and opening for you, and then watching them rise,
Right.
and as you're doing in New Orleans, three local comedians who are going to be there opening up and having an opportunity with an audience they might not have had for years to come. I really love the way you do promote women, and I just commend you.
And I want to say their names. I want to say Bobby Jean, who's opening up on Friday, the local comedian. She's going to be rocking it. We have Shep Kelly, who's opening up on Friday night, who's going to be tearing it up, and she's representing the LGBT plus community.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Geneva Joy, who's opening up on Sunday, and she's a local as well. So I want to say their names because their names are important. I mean, names you're going to be hearing, and seeing on billboards in the years to come because they're really funny. But it's just it's the way I was raised,
Mm-hmm.
Women have a hard shake, unfortunately, and I wanted Fat Tuesdays to be a spot where they can come and just perform, and not have to worry about having sex with the promoter, having sex with the booker, and things like that. And that's what goes on in this comedy world with female comedians.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to be more than just funny. They got to worry about other stuff. So Fat Tuesdays has always been a safe place for them to come, practice their craft, and just be funny. You can't do anything else but be funny and be respected and be treated like one of the guys. We still know your ladies. We're still going to be gentlemen, but at the same time, be treated like one of the guys. Same thing with Flame Monroe. Flame Monroe loved Fat Tuesdays before transgender was a thing. Flame Monroe would come to Fat Tuesdays. I was like, I don't care what you do, but as long as you're funny.
Right.
And this is a safe place for the LGBT plus community to come and perform. I don't care about all the other stuff. Just come and be funny and have a good time. And that's what it's all about. But that's why I was raised by, a great mom, 3 sisters. And, I see the struggle and I want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
So, Guy, I love how over the years that I've known you, you talk about so lovingly about your mom and also the relationship that you guys had during the quarantine and Bible study and things like that. That's just at heart who you are, huh?
That's how I'm wired. I mean, it's crazy how me and Joe came out of the same household. But anyway, you would think. Same mama, same daddy. No, I learned a lot from Joe as well. Actually, I learned from Joe have at least one woman on every show. When I first started doing Fat Tuesdays, that came from him. That did come from my brother Joe. It's like, make sure you have at least one woman on every show. And that's one of the greatest notes he ever gave me. He gave me plenty. That's one of the greatest notes that he ever gave. Oh, somebody's checking the price of SFS right now.
Yeah.
Because it's back. SFS has been gone for a couple of years because of the pandemic, but it's back now. And some great headliners. Kevin Hart's there on the 30th. So we're competing against, the great Kevin Hart. And you got Janet there, you got New Edition, you got, everybody. But anyway.
The lineup is tremendous.
The lineup is sick. And it's so crazy that I'm blessed enough to be a part of the fantastic voyage, one of the greatest parties ever on the sea, and then on land, the Essence Fest, which is actually twice the size of Coachella that people don't know about.
Right.
Yeah, you hear about Coachella. Essence Fest done by us, for us, is just as big, if not bigger than Coachella. So, it's a great place for singles. It's a great place for couples. Just come on down to SFS. I'm gonna have now. They're not working me as hard as the Tom Jones.
Wow.
I know. Some work there.
I know.
But it's gonna be a party. It's gonna be a party just like that.
C.M. Williams on Facebook says, would love to go, need a vacay after more than 2 years of seclusion.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And just New Orleans anyway, being in New Orleans anyway, is without Essence Fest is the bomb. So you got
Right.
SFS on top of that. Come on, and it's
Yeah.
4th of July weekend.
Come
Come on,
on.
you can't beat that.
Food, fun, comedy, music. Just this is a
Yes,
party.
I'm waiting
Oh,
for the food, Sybil.
okay. Okay.
Melanie Camacho, I love Melanie. Yes,
So you would like to see Melanie? I'm assuming CM Williams. You'd like to see Melanie included in an upcoming special with Guy.
one of my favorite
Yeah,
comedians.
yeah, she's something.
Yeah,
She is a
yeah,
powerhouse. She's mighty. She's a mighty, mighty comedy force to be reckoned with.
yes, she
Absolutely.
is.
So, Guy, in terms of going out and as you're at the clubs in New Orleans and looking for local talent, what do you look for?
Originality. I look for likability. I look for funny, of course.
Hmm.
But what do your story? And that's something I'm starting to get more and more into is telling your story. Not just going up there being a comic, but being a
Hmm.
comedian. You know,
Hmm.
comic says funny things, a comedian make things funny. So looking for someone to be, because there's some projects I'm working on where I'm looking for up and becoming young, unknown comics that can make a splash. So those are the main important things: likability, originality, and funny,
Yeah.
and your story. You've got to tell your story. I tell young comics all the time because people can't steal your story.
Right. Right. Absolutely, absolutely, and you can tell when the sincerity, when the
Yeah,
realness of the is not, somebody's telling somebody else's story or
yeah,
borrowing their jokes or whatever. It
yes.
just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Do you remember your first Fat Tuesday, or first, not Fat Tuesday, but your first night that you went up and performed when you got to LA, and what that was
Yes,
like?
I died the death of 1,000 dogs. Let me tell you something, Sybil. It was I would never forget. A lot of comics we don't forget those epic bombs.
Mhm.
And for your first one to be an epic bomb, I
Mhm.
was just new to LA 2 weeks. It was September 10th, 1992.
Oh my
And I was
God.
living with Joe at the time. And Joe had a limo sent to pick him up to take him to the show. And it was myself and Ricky Harris, rest in peace, comedian Ricky Harris,
Oh.
was
Mm.
hosting the show. So he came to Joe's house to ride in the limo with us. And I'm in the limo talking big game. I'm drinking, I'm drinking rum and coke. I'm talking, I'm gonna tear this stage up. I'm about to beast this bad boy. I'm gonna blow a roof out. I'm the whole ride there. I got on stage, and the first maybe 2 minutes, I was just, improv and going off the top, shooting from the hip. Then I went to my material, and that's when, man, they looked at me like I got naked in church. And I'm telling you right now, yo, I was sweating like Mike Tyson reading Shakespeare. I was, I was, I stunk. And then I said goodnight. I went off stage. Ricky Harris came on stage after me and did 10 minutes of just killer material of me bombing. He talked about me.
Oh.
He talked about me being in the car like a Rottweiler. I'm on the roof. Then he said I got on stage
Oh.
and was like meow, meow, meow. I mean he had that place in stitches off of my bomb, and
Wow.
I mean they almost didn't let me ride home in a limo because of the bomb threat. It was that bad. If it was Uber back then, they probably would have made me Uber,
Mhm.
back then. And so the next night, though, because that was a Wednesday night, the next night I went up at the Common Theater in Leimert Park and to open mic, the amateur part. And I did a little better. And I
Mhm.
just kept going up after that and never looked back. But that was an epic bomb. Oh man, that was epic.
Wow.
Epic.
If you are just joining us, we're talking to the great Guy Torry and talking about his experiences in the past as well as what he's doing right now. He is doing great things, ladies and gentlemen. I remember during the Joyner show, he would be furiously working as he was working on the air, on the radio show, and talking about this idea he had that he couldn't even talk about with us because it
Right.
was still in the incubation period, and
Yeah.
how it all came together and your presentations and towards with the big film companies and what have you, and then finally being able to announce your deal about Fat Tuesdays
Whew.
and Amazon. I still go back and watch it, Guy.
Oh, thank you.
I still think that it's still one of the best pieces I've seen in a very long time, and Amazon has promoted it as season one. Are we looking for season two?
We're looking for season two. Reggie Hudlin, the great director who put this thing together, helped tell this beautiful story in a way that I could never have told it. We're talking about doing something else. There's a lot of
Okay.
footage,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of footage that we couldn't use, a lot of origin stories that were told that we had to cut, you know. And man, Dominique is a very good friend of mine too. She's very funny too. So I'm sorry, reading
Oh, we love Dominique.
ADD.
Aubrey
But
Williams
yeah,
says
so
he would like to
so
see
we
the
are
lovely
talking.
Dominique.
We are talking to not just Amazon, but to other networks and other studios about what's next, what's that Tuesdays, and yeah, we can give any sweats.
Yeah, yeah. So we're
Coming soon.
Manuel
Essence
Murphy.
Fest.
Okay. Manuel Murphy
Essence
wants to
Fest.
know where you can find the sweatshirts. Go to Essence Fest and you'll be able to get
Yes.
yours, Manuel.
Yes.
That's great. So Guy Torry, we've been talking about him as the creator of the incredible phenom known as Fat Tuesdays. You also brought to Amazon Prime Video that we can still stream now. And
And
also
please rate it too. Please rate it afterwards. After you watch
oh,
Fat Tuesday, the
right.
documentary, it's important to rate, especially our stuff, Black people
Hmm.
stuff. Rate it at the end of when you watch it.
That's good to know. That's good to know. And also, you're going to see Guy every night at Essence Fest as he
Joy
brings
Theater.
brings the funny
Yes.
every night. And of course, you can get there, still get there. Go to essencefest.com and get information about how to get
Festival.com.
there
Yes.
as well as tickets and all that. And tell my friend Cherie Nicole of the Willie Moore Jr. Show, I said, "What's up?"
I
Because she's
will.
Essence people too. All right, Guy. Let's move to talk about our trending topics. I was going to
Yes.
ask you where you're performing this weekend, but you are still in preparation mode, and we know where you'll be the following weekend.
Right.
Um,
And the
as
weekend after that, I'm in Pittsburgh,
okay,
actually.
okay.
And at the end of the month, I will be. I would love to see me. George Moss. I love George, man. That's my guy right there. That's my guy.
Absolutely.
I'll be at the Chicago Improv in Schaumburg at the end of the month, and last
Oh,
weekend of July. Yes,
wow, wow,
Chi-town.
and that'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, I
Absolutely,
know.
things moving
I
so
got to get
quickly.
ready for that one.
Right,
Chicago
right.
ain't no joke, man. I got to go get that overrated pizza and overrated hot dog.
So let's not get started on the pizza
Okay,
and
we
the hot
won't. We
dogs
won't. We won't.
because that soda cracker pizza that y'all like,
Hey, St. Louis.
I don't get it. I don't get it. But so you're in preparation for the July 4th weekend at Essence Fest. Want to talk about? You just saw George Wallace says he would like to see him. Well, George, you can see yourself this weekend in Atlanta at the
Yes.
Atlanta Comedy Theater with Myra J. I said the Queen and her jesters. Myra J. the Queen and J. Anthony Brown and George Wallace performing
Ooh, Three
on
Fools. That should be the
Saturday.
name of the show.
Yeah, okay, okay. And Guy, this is the three of them. They have two shows scheduled, and now they just scheduled an early show. So George is trying to make all the money off of these people. Okay, Saturday,
That's
June
when you're moving
25th.
tickets. When you do a show, when you have an early show, you got to move it
Uh-huh.
to 4 in the afternoon. That's
Hmm.
when you're moving tickets.
Okay,
That's when you're moving tickets. That's
okay.
yeah. There's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a lot of insulin at that show.
And a lot of people that want to get home for dark.
Yeah, before dark, exactly. There's a lot of wood. You gonna live in the back of that comedy club. There's a lot of wheelchairs and walkers, but they need to laugh too. So
Yeah,
why not
absolutely.
laugh at those three? When I was last in Atlanta doing the show, George came and crashed my show, and he went up and made me work afterwards. I wasn't trying to work that hard, but
Okay.
George made me work. George made me work.
George really is, we talk about the hardest working man in show business, and that would be the Godfather, James Brown. But George Wallace is really, I mean, he will text us and say, he hit 4 clubs last night. And like,
Yeah,
oh, okay. And yeah, and I killed every time. Or, got to go back and work on some stuff. But he just is, he took the time during the pandemic to take care of himself, to sequester and all of that, but he's coming back with a vengeance now.
yeah. I just saw him in something. He was funny as In Atlanta, the show Atlanta.
Right. Yeah.
It was just so good to see him on TV.
Yeah. And
Doing that.
he's in a Mel Brooks movie.
Yeah.
He's out there working.
All
And
at 92 years old too. That's
okay,
amazing.
how amazing is that? So go check out George and Myra and J. Anthony Brown this Saturday.
Woo.
That's at the Atlanta Comedy Theater, and you can go to their website and get ticket information. 7, 10, and an early show now scheduled for 4 p.m. Uh,
Wow.
Guy, I know that you're busy working on your act and other plans and projects you have. Have you had a chance to watch any of the January 6th committee hearings?
I've been watching a little bit of it. I have been keeping tabs on it, that, and not as much as the Johnny Depp trial, but uh, they're both popcorn worthy. There was some snitches in that bad boy today.
Uh-huh.
They was out there snitching. It was like, look, I'm not, but it's everything that Donald Trump touched turned to crap.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody who was in partnership or came in contact with Donald Trump, either in jail, career destroyed, or tarnished, and people still can't see it. Like,
No.
what do you think? Why do you think your relationship with Donald Trump or association with him is going to be different?
Right.
It's not. But that trial has been fire.
Yeah, I'm really proud of Benny Thompson, who is the chairman
Yeah.
of the committee. Benny Thompson from Mississippi has been in the United States Congress for what, 30 years now.
Yeah.
And now this is his time not only to shine, but to
Right.
shine the light on the injustice of what happened or
Yeah.
what could have happened too, in light of the election fraud that Donald Trump was trying to perpetrate throughout his administration and throughout the country. So this was interesting in that he was trying to implore upon people who swear to tell the truth, attorneys who
Mm-hmm.
swear to tell the truth, to lie
Mm-hmm.
about this election fraud. And these men of principle said, no, we're not going to lie for you. And if you make us, then we'll resign. We're not going
Yeah.
to, if you bring in somebody to take our place who has no place as
Right.
the attorney general. He was an
Clark.
environmental lawyer, Jeffrey Clark.
Yeah.
He has no place being the attorney general or being in the attorney general's office, let alone being the top guy. We'll resign, and you will know about it. People will know. And so, they laid all of this out, and the committee has done a masterful job of laying it all out. So much so, Guy, that not only have they canceled one particular hearing because they didn't have it just the way they
Right.
wanted it, but now what we saw today is the last hearing for the month of June. And because they're getting more and more
Right.
new information.
New information.
Yep.
And my mom is glued to the TV.
Yeah.
My mom is like, you see those kids and they have the iPads. That's my mom at home with the TV. She just,
Right.
I don't know if she got her good teeth in or not, but I think she take her teeth out to eat that popcorn. But she is glued to the TV. I'm like, I go home and I see her, and I'm like, from sun up to sundown, she is CNN, 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 CNN. See, but she's glued to the trial. She didn't care about the Johnny Depp trial. She didn't. That wasn't her thing. But
Right.
this right here,
Yeah.
man, this is her. This is her binge watching. Like 10 seasons of a show.
Right. Right. Exactly
Yeah,
right.
she ain't moving. She ain't even. I don't think she got up to shower. Because I think the trial goes off and she's watching all the recaps and then she ain't even been in the church in a minute now. My mom's a church woman. She's looking at what they got to say about it on the Sunday news shows. She's so into it.
Guy, I would love to get you and your mom on one day, and after one day of the hearings, and just get you two going back and forth and talking about it, her recapping and her insights on this, because
I may have to make that happen.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
That.
Oh, if she would love to do it, I would. If she's amenable, I would love to have you guys on to talk about it.
I think my mom is the best. She's the greatest.
That is so sweet. That is great. So, what also came out of the hearing that there are no less than 5 Congress members who asked for a pardon. One hadn't even started on the job yet. 2 of them, actually, Matt Gaetz as well as Marjorie Taylor Greene. of Georgia. But so if they were doing what they were doing in terms of Donald Trump's bidding, if they were doing was nothing wrong with it, why would you ask for a pardon?
Exactly. That's the admission of guilt to me right
That's
there.
it. That's it.
I mean, if you have to ask for a pardon before the investigation,
Right. Right.
it's like, yo, that's a red flag right there. That
Exactly.
right there was enough to be like, okay, yeah, we got to investigate.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
One of the others who was involved in this just lost his runoff primary, and that is Mo Brooks of Alabama. He was
Yeah.
endorsed by Donald Trump, then he wasn't, and then it was kind of well, the runoff was this week, and that he's lost that race. Matt Gaetz, as I said, of Florida, Andy Biggs of Arizona, Louis Gohmert of Texas, yay Texas, Scott Perry of Pennsylvania, and lastly Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. It's
Now, this reminds me of when I was a kid and I knew my report card was horrible. I knew the phone call was coming about me talking to back in class. So that's me going home, just going upstairs to my dad's closet, getting the belt and saying, here, you're going to need this. What? You're going to need
trust me on this.
Just trust me, you're going to need this. And then about 15 minutes later, the phone rings. And the news came, and I was talking back in class to a teacher. And I went to a Catholic school too. So the nuns, yeah. So I would go home and it's new. It's like, you know what? There's no sense of, they're going to call. They always call. They're going to see the report card. So the inevitable is going to happen. So just brace yourself for it and take it. It's almost like that story I told on the show. And Tom called me crazy. He still tells the story to this day when I talk to him about when I wanted to pledge Omega Psi Phi in college. And me and my friends were voluntarily taking, the paddle to get ready for it because we knew it was going to come.
Right.
And Tom calls me stupid every time. He said, but that's almost like that. It's like, I was always that guy. It's like, you know what? I know what's going to happen. Here it goes.
Right.
Just brace yourself for it. And these guys asking for a pardon. And I said that then when it happened, like, you're guilty.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yep. Exactly right. Crazy is what we experienced over those 4 years into January 6th and now beyond.
Yes.
But we are. but here's the takeaway, and I ask this every column that we do in the newsletter in terms of these hearings and other things that are going on. Are you registered to vote? Are you ready to make a difference? Because the midterm elections, these are really very important elections. Can't stress that enough. Guy, you live in the city of Los Angeles. How crazy is it that you have a woman who has spent her years in the United States Congress wants to come home and run for mayor of Los Angeles, and a guy who was a Republican yesterday comes in, tries to change his party standing, and puts $40 million into this contest. And I'm talking about Karen Bass running for mayor of Los Angeles.
What's crazy is that LA needs a new mayor. There's a lot of stuff going on with the police department that needs to be addressed. A lot of stuff going on with the money in Los Angeles needs to be addressed. A woman, I've always said this, and guys get mad at me, but they do stuff better. It's time for change, but at the same time, it's like what's important, and I've always said this. I said on the show, is a lot of our friends don't know her. A lot of and they won't vote for the local stuff. People, those salons I talk about, when I talk about electing, when the voters come around, a salon is you get a group of people, you all get the ballots, you get the measures, you get whatever laws they're trying to vote on or whatever, bills they're trying to vote on or whatever, and you talk about each one, the pros and cons, and discuss them. Whenever especially when there's a mayor or attorney general or even a president or a governor, these salons are so important to talk about because that's why people don't register to vote. They don't understand what's going on. They don't understand that their yes really means a no or their no really means a yes. When you have these salons and you get together with people who know, then you explain everything. You feel so much more comfortable going to the voters' booth. And we'll get more votes if more people have more voters and people have more salons. And the city of LA is just, it was so crazy, the whole mask mandate and the people, the places opening, closing. It was kind of crazy. It was kind of a wild, wild west, which is what it is. So we just need a little bit more order.
Guy, we are running out of time in this segment, but I just need you to tell me about tonight's draft and your Los Angeles Lakers. Are you hopeful this next season? Because it just hasn't been good.
We didn't have a draft pick, but now we have traded our 2028 draft pick and some money to get the 35th pick in tonight's draft. So that's good. At least we get something.
Right.
There's some Kyrie Irving buzz going on. We're a mess in LA. I mean, it seems like LA is becoming the place, the rest place for bona fide Hall of Famers to come just play until they go.
Wow.
I mean, except for LeBron James, who's still playing at an amazing level. But Anthony Davis, who's a bona fide Hall of Famer, and Westbrook is a bona fide Hall of Famer. I think Westbrook just had an off year. I'm a Westbrook fan. I believe he's going to turn around. I don't want to see them trade him.
Right.
Kyrie Irving is such a dynamic player. I just don't know. I don't know.
That's a lot of personalities. Yeah.
It's like, does he come with, TSA pre, or does he come with we got to check that luggage, bro.
Right.
We got a lot of baggage coming in. So the draft tonight, I mean, Orlando, this guy out of Gonzaga, I think, is going to go first. I believe.
Okay.
There's great players in the draft, but there's no, Anthony Edwards, there's no Mount Zion, or I call him Mount Zion Williams, that's really like grabs you. So it'd be interesting to see what Orlando does in this draft, because they're still a long ways away.
But let me just stop here, because we need to move into our entertainment segment, and I do want to continue this because this is entertainment related. So we're talking with Guy Torry. We're talking about entertainment, of course, Los Angeles Lakers basketball, Los Angeles Rams football, all of that stuff.
Baseball, Cardinals, St. Louis.
And then there's that. So let me ask you about, from an entertainment perspective, and talking about the Lakers and what can happen, looking at a former Laker, Shaquille O'Neal, who has advised his son not to go into the draft. He told his son, finish your education and then, go from there. That's a hard thing to do, isn't it?
No. Not on Shaq's point.
No,
being honest.
But from his son, I mean,
right.
That's tough from the son's perspective. I mean,
I
really get what you're saying about Shaq.
It really shouldn't be. It's like, listen to your dad. You're talking to one of the greatest players that ever played the game. You're talking about a Hall of Famer. He's very successful business-wise. Why wouldn't you listen to Shaq? Everything he touches is gold. And the son, it's not like you're going to be broke.
Right.
I mean, Shaq already said that that's not their money, but at the same time, he ain't gonna let you, be homeless.
Right.
So, and what Shaq is really trying to tell him is, man, you're not ready. You're not ready. And that's when I had a chance to do Def Comedy Jam, with the last season Martin hosted, and my brother Joe said, "You ain't ready." Said, "You ain't ready," and he was honest. It wasn't on some haters, crap. It was like, I wasn't ready.
Right.
But if they would have called me, I would have probably gone. But Joe was like, "Man, you ain't ready." And I listened to my brother, and I wasn't ready. And I waited till the next year, and thank God he became the host, and then I ended up debuting with him as a host. But what Shaq is telling his son is basically, you're not ready, bro. He was averaging what, 1 point something a game and like 2 rebounds a game. And not to say that he may not end up being great, because Gary Payton is a good friend of mine, and he was honest with his son. And look, his son has a ring now. Gary Payton II. Yeah. So he needs to listen to his dad. He needs to listen to Shaq.
I agree with you 100%. Everything you said, I could not agree with you more. And I think about being the children of greats like that, and especially like Michael Jordan's boys, how difficult that was. But they didn't have it, whatever it is. and for these men to tell their sons and to be as honest as they possibly can. Tell them, like your brother told you, you're not ready yet.
You're ready.
And hone your skills a little bit more. You know,
Right.
no matter what they're telling you, listen to your daddy.
Listen to your dad and listen to someone who's done it and done it at the highest level.
Right.
And one of the greatest of all time.
Right. One other question I need to ask you, a show that I absolutely fell in love with, and that is Winning Time.
Love it.
Did you?
Love it. I know the Lakers don't like it,
Right.
but I don't care. I love that show. I've seen it 3 times because I've watched it on my own. Then I told somebody else about it, and they watched it, and I watched it again with them, and then I just watched it again. I'm a Laker fan, so first of all, those were the years what made me love the Lakers. But at the same time, I need to see the Lakers win again because this last season was so just see the Lakers win is probably why I loved it so much. But I loved it. I love the I love how Norm Nixon's son plays him.
Right.
Plays his dad, which is crazy. It reminds me of Ice Cube and his son playing him. But I love the show. I'm sorry. And I hope they have another season.
Yeah. I do too.
It gave me an idea about this, the scripted version of this. We've been saying, how do we want to do this? Do we want to do it retro like that? Do we want to do it present day? How do we want to do it? And Winning Time is winning.
Yeah, it is. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's on HBO Max, and it is the season in which Magic Johnson made his debut with the Lakers, and as well as Dr. Jerry Buss getting control of that team, and all of the dynamics, whether they were real or not, just could not put it down.
Shout out to Mike Epps who's in it. Shout out to Earthquake who's in it. Shout out to Donna Rollins who are in it, man, doing a great thing.
Yeah,
I was a little jealous. I ain't gonna front, man. I'm a Lakers fan. I was like, oh man, I could have played Michael Cooper or somebody. They could have put some stilts on me.
Guy, you are wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. I've had a great time as always. You bring such levity as well as intellect to our discussions, and we appreciate you and a really good heart to all of this too. So
thank you for having me.
Leave you with Yogi's Jewel, our daily inspiration. Truly forgive, release resentment, and find inner peace.
Ooh, I needed that.
We all do. We all do.
Needed that.
Absolutely. And we need more of you. So let us find out where you are the next time. You said Pittsburgh is coming up as other dates. We can follow you on Instagram.
Yes, on Instagram at Guy Torry and on Twitter at Guy Torry. Prayers. Fat Tuesdays, the documentary is up for Emmy consideration. A consideration for the nomination. So those prayer warriors out there, come on, remember us in your prayers. It's a win for the culture, even just to get nominated. Essence Festival next weekend, the Joy Theater, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, After Dark Comedy, curated by Fat Tuesdays. Go to essencefestival.com and get your tickets. Tickets are going fast, so thank you. Thank you, Sybil. Love you.
Love you too, Guy. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon. Aloha.